So if you guys haven't heard, or if you guys haven't been keeping up with the Division 2 new PvE game mode, the Summit, there's been some back and forth between the developers and the feedback they've been receiving. And one of the developers came out and wanted to address some of the concerns for the Summit. So Yannick came out and said, I'm seeing a lot of great feedback on the Summit. I know there's still work to do, and we're committed to keep improving it for Title Update 11 and beyond. I'm also seeing confusion on replayability, and that's something we haven't clearly communicated. So here's my attempt to clarify. So this is gonna be a 10-part tweet that he comes out and says, so we'll be breaking it down for you guys. But just off this part right here, we can see that their goal is to launch the Summit with Title Update 11 and continue on improving it. So let's go on to what he had to say next. Yannick then says, you only need to play floor 1 to 100 once. We have a permanent checkpoint, rally points, every 10 floors. For every subsequent run can be started from any of those floors, 11, 31, 71, etc. You will not have to go through the initial floors again if you don't want to. So addressing this right here, I know a lot of you guys had some concerns about having to play those floors 1 through the normal and hard. Well, you don't. And to me, that also means that, well, what's the point of having those floors, right? I understand some players might want to play on normal and play on hard, but I just don't really see any replayability on those floors right there, especially with there being rally points that early on. So that's just something that I had a concern with. I know I talked to you guys about it in my last survival stream about the early floors. I don't really think people are going to use them, but that's just what I think. He continues on and he says, we currently do not plan any reset of your unlocked rally points. So once you reach, they are yours forever. However, this is a point on which we like feedback. Would you like to see regular resets? So that's something that they are asking. Would you guys like to see regular resets for those? I think if you have permanent checkpoints, no one's ever going to go back and complete that. So what was the point of having those extra levels? Versus if you put some type of really good reward, it might be worth it. He does clarify that elevators can go both up and down. So if you get to the next rally point and you want to just redo that rally point you just did underneath, you can go back down. You will then enter a new iteration of those floors and be able to fight through those once again. So you can just keep playing those over and over and over. Pretty much what he's saying, there's some replay. That's their replayability right there. You can continue to play floors 11 through 20 if that's what you really want to do. And then he just confirms that by saying, so in short, the way we envision the replayability of the Summit is not for you to go through floor 1 to 100 repeatedly. Instead, it would be for you picking floors that match the difficulty you like. So if you like fighting on challenging, if you like fighting on heroic, well, you would just continue fighting on those floors over and over if you want. He continues on and says, and then you decide if you want to try yourself on a more challenging difficulty or keep playing a difficulty you enjoy and be rewarded for it accordingly. So their replayability vision for the Summit was, if you want to stay on the floors that are all challenging and keep doing those over and over, if you want to play on all the heroic levels over and over, or if you're that amazing and you just want to do the legendary ones over and over, you should be rewarded for that, but you will continue to play those over and over, and that would be the replayability you get there. So hopefully by him saying that, they're going to have rewards that are worth it, right? Because I think that's where they can save the replayability of this, is if the targeted loot and the rewards you get while playing the Summit are really good, that's where this mode can shine. But he continues on and says, for instance, if you like heroic and you can start at 51 heroic, no directives, work your way towards 60, at which point you can decide if you want to go to 61 heroic with 1 directive, or stay where you are and select the floor 51 again. You can rinse and repeat this process as much as you want without ever having to leave the Summit and go back to the terminal to pick your difficulty and modifiers. Each time you go back down, the 4 templates, enemies, and objectives will be picked randomly again. Now he does continue on and he mentions something about rewards being worth it and gameplay being interesting to have good replayability. And listen to what he had to say here, because I think this is really key to everything he did say before. Of course, rewards and gameplay need to be interesting enough to keep you hooked this long, and there needs to be enough variety in the room setups and environments. This is part of the improvements we need to make and we'll keep pushing in the future. So a lot of people, including myself, have been saying that sometimes some of the floors start to seem like they're a little bit repetitive, right? It feels like the gameplay is a little repetitive. You get to a point where you start seeing the same floors and everything seems like you just ran through the same area over and over. And that's something that nobody wants, right? I don't think the developers want. I don't think the players want. We definitely want something that keeps us on the edge of our seat. So it was good for him to say that they do want to work towards that. So what I can see happening is that the summit is going to release with title update 11, probably a little bit more polished than what we saw during this PTS. But after that, I think that is really when we will see some changes coming. Hopefully some changes that we all really want. He does want everybody to know that the developers all want you guys to know that floor 100 does not need to be the end goal of every one of your summit sessions. The summit is meant to be much more flexible than that. And that's how he concludes this 10 of 10 tweets. And I'm really glad he came out and addressed the concerns, our concerns of the community. Because if you guys really think about this, I think that the base game for the summit is good. I just think it needs a little bit of work. And for them to come out and say, hey, we realize that it needs to be, it needs to really have fun replayability, right? You want to be able to play it. It needs to be rewarding. And they see that as a concern with this already, not just us addressing it in the community on YouTube videos. It's good to see them really taking our feedback and realize that, yes, it's a good mode, but it does need a little bit of work. So I don't know how much more change you're gonna do prior to this releasing for title update 11, because I'm pretty sure title update 11 can't be too far off. I'm predicting sometimes mid-September, maybe late September for this to drop. And we're already what, 8 days into September. So we're pretty close to when title update, in my opinion, will drop. I think we should finally know when title update 11 will drop during the pre-show for Ubisoft Forward, because you know Ubisoft Forward is the next major event for Ubisoft as a company, and we didn't really get anything for Ubisoft in the last event, right? We really didn't get, we didn't get anything for Division in the last event. So they did say that they were going to give us some news during this Ubisoft Forward. So hopefully we find out some Division 2 news, and I think it's most likely going to be the release of title update 11, and then pretty much showcasing this new game mode. But I want to know what you guys honestly think about what he said. Would you guys like them to delay this? Would you like them to release what they have and then just keep tweaking it as title update 11 goes? I know it's a little bit harder for them to delay this game mode for the fact that you do have a blueprint which is tied to this game mode with the new exotic. So that means that exotic would be delayed because nobody will be able to get it. So I know there's a lot with title update 11 and this game mode hand in hand. And I think that this game mode will release with title update 11. So expect that to come out, and then hopefully the changes will continue to come. Hopefully it's a mode that they continue to perfect, not something that they give to us and then just leave out there. Let me know what you guys think about this, what you guys think about what he said. I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I will see you guys in the next Division 2 video, but until then, Nothing But Skills is out.